first things first, so let's go on to the latest junior golf news then. We'll start overseas. The Junior Golf World Cup took place in Japan, both boys and girls competitions there. England didn't have a girls team in, but they did have a boys team. The girls competition was won by Japan, the host nation, 34 under par over 4 rounds, a very high standard of scoring there. They won by a couple of shots from the USA. Boys team, Japan once again won, 34 under par once again. Second place was Canada. Didn't realise Canada had some very good young golfers, but by the sounds of it, they did very well. The English team finished 5th in that competition. The team, some household names, as you well know, Ian. Harley Smith, Josh Berry, Tyler Weaver, and Dylan Shaw Radford. The latter two there, they both finished in the top 10 in the individual category. Actually, England really finished really strongly. I think there was a couple of 66 and a 67 in the final round. So well done to the England team.
What a trip that is, though, Steve, isn't it? What a learning curve that is. Go to Japan and play some golf as a junior. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know the reasons why. It's just a shame the fact that we couldn't send the girls team out there as well, because that would have been a great experience for them as well. And as we well know, with women's golf, in Asia, it's very, very big out there. They've got a lot of very good players. So that would have been
bigger than the men's game, isn't it? Really.
It's picking up the men's game, isn't it? Obviously, a lot of Asian players are now coming through and winning majors as well and challenging for majors. So well done to the England team for doing so well there. Right, back in this country then, English Schools National Championship, talking about girls golf. Elizabeth Wilson from Nottinghamshire, she won by 2 shots. She's 15 years old from Norwood Park. Now, Open Championship qualifying. Now, obviously, this is for the Open, which takes place at Hoylake. Regional qualifying took place this week. I think the final qualifying is next week or the weekend. I think it might be next week. So regional qualifying, 117 places were up for grabs. I think there was 14 different venues of the time. Now, 36 of those ended up being claimed by amateur golfers. Not all of these are junior golfers, but just some of the ones to mention. Coldie, I think of the 8 players at Coldie, 6 of them were amateurs who made it through there. Kedleston Park, some household names, once again, young golfers here. George Bloor, Alex Ford, Ben Lovard, Jake Plum, Seb Cage, Rory McDonald O'Brien, they all made it through. Hesketh Golf Club, the winner was Jack McPhail, who's been mentioned on this podcast previously, 3 under par. Moore Park, George Castle, another player who we know well, 4 under par. At Northampton County, Jack Peters, a junior member, he made it through as well. And actually, the winner of that competition was a friend of the podcast, been on the podcast before, professional golfer Ryan Evans. In his mid-30s now, Ryan. So not quite a junior golfer, but pleased with the fact that he made it through.
Chris Hansen played as well. He unfortunately didn't quite make it. Said he couldn't hole any putts, but as we know, Chris is a former guest on the show as well.
Absolutely. Do you know where he played at? Do you know which course he was at? If I read out the other venues, you tell me that Old Woodley, Burr Hill, Ferndown, Gossick, Kilmarnock, Lindrick, Minchinhampton, Rochester and Cobham, County Louth. Did he play any of those?
I don't know. No. I could probably find out for you.
Well, let me tell you about Northampton. Northampton was another venue as well. And 17-year-old Drew Sykes, he didn't qualify, but how about this for the start of his round? First hole, got a hole in one.
Oh, no way.
So good. Well done to him. Now, talking about hole in ones, because covered this last week, the Alexis Brown Golf Foundation Day that took place at Nelcott Hole. We'll tell you about a little bit more about the competition, but there was a hole in one on that day. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it down because you had a sick cameraman, which would have been a shame because you missed out on seeing your first ever ace live, because we had a hole in one. It came from Jack Meakin. I think we've got a photo of Jack with the ball. There he is, Jack, from Wellingborough Golf Club. He did it on the 3rd hole in his 2nd round. Went on to finish with the best net score in the top division, net 51, which was over 18 holes, so 300 par net altogether. The winner of the gross competition was Josh Gardner from Coventry, gross 55, so just 1 over par. And let me tell you, they're quite short holes there, but very, very tricky. If you miss any of the greens, you can be in some serious trouble there. So 1 over par was very, very good scoring. Alfie Walk also qualified. From the girls section, another person who's been on the podcast previously, Eloise Freely, she was the best girl. And other players to make it through were Seraphina Taylor and Jessica Davis. When I say got it through, because 6 players make it through now to the British Par 3 Championship. They play on the Monday. And if they manage to do really well in that, they actually play in the Pro-Am and get to play with the top players in that. The best score, though, in that qualifier, though, let me tell you, was a net 48 from a young lad called Josh Brown. So, seriously good score in there, net 48. So well done to him. Right. Did mention that I was at Silverstone Golf Club this last week. There was the Shires Junior Golf Tour event there. Oliver Golby won the Gold Division gross and net. Jake Goldsmith in the second division came in with a net 59. Not bad scoring, eh? What do you think of that, Ian?
Oh, well.
Yeah. And he finished runner-up.
Hey?
He finished runner-up by 5 shots. Somebody came in with a net 54.
I'll tell you, shooting at 59 and you'd probably win 19 out of 20 times, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Well, I'd hope more than that, but yes.
Probably, yeah.
Well done to Harry Collins, who came in with a net 54. There was a 9-hole competition as well. The winner of the 9-hole competition, net 24, 1100 par, net 24. That was and that was on countback as well. So that was Niall Goodrich who beat William Worsley. Special thanks as well. They've been on the podcast. We obviously bigged them up a few weeks ago. Stadium Golf, they give prizes to all the winners of the age categories there. So they're going to go and play Stadium Golf at Stadium NK, which I think is July the 6th or July the 9th. So massive thanks to Nick Adicott for sorting that out for us on that. Right, just finally, I think we've got a photo of the winner of this competition. We'll come to that photo in a second. But the Irish Junior Open Tour, they had their Schools Open competition took place at Greystones Golf Club. Under 19s competition was won by Cara Fitzpatrick from University of Galway. Under 14s was Jake Brown from Campbell College. And we got the photo of the winner of the under 11s competition. This was Pippa Cuff. I sent it to you this evening. Just saw this story. Here's Pippa there with her prize. Well done to her. If I say that Cara Fitzpatrick won the under 19s with a net 68,
yeah,
Jake Brown won the under 14s with a net 62. I know you love this when I do this to you, Ian. Right, what do you think Pippa's winning score was then in the under 11s category then?
Well, do you know what? I always get these wildly wrong. So I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say a net 56.
Net 56 is a very, very good guess, but absolutely nowhere near. Wait, I'm glad you sat down, Ian. Wait for it, right? 18-hole competition, yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Net 27.
What? Is that even possible?
42 under par. If I told you that her worst hole, I think 4 of them was a net birdie.
Yeah. I think some of these handicaps are inaccurate there.
Yes. To be fair to the Irish Junior, they do send them off forward tees. So obviously, and credit to them because it gives them the opportunity to get birdies and eagles and things like that. But when you come, I don't know what the second best score is. I think you said about net 59. You've been most competitive. I think the second place was something like 22 under par, and missed out by 20 shots.
Yeah. Ceases to be a competition, doesn't it? Really? Yeah.
But well done to Pippa, though. So
congratulations. Hey,
absolutely. So
the rules are the rules, and she abided by them, and she won. So fair play.
Absolutely, yeah.
You deserve it.
But I think it's fair to say when we do our review of the end of the year, that will be the lowest score in the entire year, and net 27. That might even be the lowest score for 9-hole competition, let alone an 18-hole competition.
Yeah.
But yes, that wraps up the junior golf news this week. Not too much junior golf news this week because we've got a lot to cover in the actual podcast.